Usually, you can tell when an animal is stressed or acting out of the ordinary, but according to college professors Queiroz and Young, in studies that analyze the behavior of animals to identify the visitor effect, the expression of abnormal behavior has often been used as an indicator of stress. Animals are acting out of the ordinary to impress visitors brought in with money by the zoo. All this is just the animals acting out of stress. The visitors sure do love it, though. But do the animals? The stress is a daily experience for these animals, and when they have time to act themselves, keepers will act as if they are acting differently because they are used to the show. The Columbus Zoo, a nationally known zoo, is open from at least 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week. That's at least 56 hours of being stared at. Also, according to Queiroz and Young, the results showed that the presence of visitors resulted in changes in mammal behavior. For example, a significant increase in the frequency of resting and locomotion behaviors. This evidence agrees with Hosey, who states that the public in zoos directly affect animals' activity level, which could be associated with stress. Animals are directly affected by zoo visitors, as stated above, which is hard to hear because the animals are in their fake habitat cages all day long, 7 days a week. It is days of repeated stress. Sleep is one of the only ways of escaping these crazy visitors. To them, they must figure, I can sleep these people away, or at least fake it. If you've ever wondered how animals have to mate in zoos, the answer would be inbreeding. According to Lucy Robinson, an animal journalist, London Zoo's lions' population could be compromised by decades of inbreeding, resulting in high levels of cub mortality, a new report has found. Inbreeding is clearly no good, but why do zoos, along with circuses, still do it? The answer is because that's the only option. They can't just bring in another wild animal. That's a big amount of work, so they have to inbreed, which is when kids and blood-related members have to mate. This causes great difficulties to deal with because health problems are high at risk. Death could also be at risk. This is the only way possible to mate, though. Also, according to Casa Jamita, a animal journalist too, in conclusion, our meta-analysis shows that wild-born animals generally have a higher reproductive success than their captive-born counterparts. It is proven through research of many animals that reproduction in captive animals is less likely to succeed than animals born in the wild. Casamigitana did research and work on not one animal but 44 different types of species. The study was on all different sizes of animals. Hopefully the media and world can come to a realization. Now, I think it is known that animals are one of the next closest species to humans. But why do they experience abuse? National Geographic writer Rachel Fobar notes, in a new report, an animal welfare group has flagged hundreds of zoos affiliated with the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums for mistreating animals, including making big cats perform in gladiator-style shows, elephants play basketball, and diapered chimpanzees ride scooters. Animals on scooters and playing basketball might seem interesting and cool, but animals are animals. Animals do animal things, not child activities. There must be a line drawn for things we make animals do, but it doesn't seem that zoos and circuses can see this. According to animal activist writer Zoe, since 1995, zoos have turned to antidepressants, tranquilizers, and antipsychotic drugs to alleviate depression and aggression among zoo animals across America. Someone who works for and fights for animals' rights saying this shows what really happens. Animals are being forced to take meds due to activities that they are expected to do that they don't even like. Maybe if the animals were not forced and nagged to do things, these meds would not even be necessary. Those who oppose animal captivity with zoos and circuses should be banned will claim that zoos do good for animals, whether that be helping with population or saving animals from poachers in their environment. Carolyn Marcy reported, in 2019, AZA and its members spent more than $230 million on field conservation work in 127 countries, focusing on population, biology, and monitoring reintroduction, conservation, education, and more. Yes, one could say that zoos do some good for animals, but what must be brought into consideration is that not all zoos can support their animals. They might not have the money for the food or to create a proper living space. According to Melanie Peoples, at the Birmingham Zoo in Alabama, President Chris Fickhorn said it costs an average of $30,000 a day just to operate a zoo. This goes to show that it costs a lot of money to feed a lot of animals. Let's say they have a bad day and don't have the money. Will an animal not be fed? Captive animal breeding should be stopped so animals can live like an animal, eat like an animal, and live freely as an animal.